Do you believe in shadows? Not the ones cast by light, but the kind that watch, that follow, that take. 15 years ago, I made one mistake, a single moment of hesitation. That's all it took for everything I loved to disappear. Anna was gone, and no one believed me when I told them the truth. No one listened, until now. This isn't just my story. It's a warning. Because the shadows don't stop. They don't forgive. And if you think you're safe, you're not. Stay with me. By the end, you'll understand why some things are better left unseen. But if you're here now, it's already too late. So listen carefully, and don't look behind you. This is the story of Anna, the love of my life. The night she disappeared, everything I knew about the world shattered. And what I found when I tried to bring her back. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. 1973, St. Clair. Life was simple back then. I worked nights at the factory. Anna worked days at the diner. We had our routine, like clockwork. She'd finish her shift, I'd meet her by the corner, and we'd walk home together. Predictable, comforting, until the whispers started. "Ethan," she'd say, her voice low. "I think someone's watching me." Or, "That guy at the bus stop? He's there every night." I'd laugh it off, tell her it was nothing. But looking back, I should have seen it. The way her eyes darted to the shadows, how her hands trembled when she locked the door. Something was there. We just didn't know it yet. The night she disappeared, I was late. 10 minutes. What difference could that make, right? But when I got to the diner, Anna wasn't there. Her manager said she left early, said she wasn't feeling well. I figured she'd gone ahead without me. When I got home, she wasn't there. I called her sister, her friends, nothing. Then I went back, retracing her steps. That's when I found it. Her scarf. It was lying in the alley, torn. The fabric was dirty, like it had been dragged through the mud. My chest tightened, and for the first time, I felt it, an icy weight in the pit of my stomach. Something was horribly wrong. I didn't stop searching. I spent nights poring over old newspapers, police records, anything that might give me a clue. That's when I noticed the pattern. Every few years, women vanished. No leads, no suspects. Just whispers in the wind. One name kept coming up, Margaret. She lost her sister in 1958 under the same circumstances. Her account was dismissed as ramblings of a crazy woman, but I needed answers. I tracked her down to this crumbling house at the edge of town. Margaret, hoarse, trembling. "You shouldn't have come. They'll know. Please, I need to know what happened to Anna. You're the only one who can help me." Margaret, whispering. "They're not human. The shadows. They come for the sacrifice. Always hungry, always watching." She told me about the cult, about how they worship something ancient, something inhuman. Her voice shook as she warned me. "If you go looking for her, you won't come back the same." Her warning didn't stop me. If anything, it made me more determined. Following Anna's trail led me to an abandoned mill on the outskirts of town. The air was heavy, thick with a smell I can only describe as decay. Inside, the walls were covered in strange symbols, handprints smeared in something dark. And in the center of the room, I saw her. Anna. She was standing there, motionless, surrounded by figures in black cloaks. Her eyes, they were empty, like she wasn't even there anymore. "Ethan," voice breaking. I ran to her, but the shadows, they came alive. They moved like smoke, wrapping around her, pulling her away. I screamed her name, but it was like she couldn't hear me. One of them turned to me, his face hidden under a hood, and said, "She belongs to us now." I fought. God, I fought with everything I had. But the shadows, they weren't human. They overwhelmed me. And then she was gone. Just gone. That was 15 years ago. I never saw her again. The police called me crazy, said I imagined it all. But I know what I saw. Every night I relive it. The chanting, the shadows, Anna's empty eyes. They're still out there. I feel them, watching me from the corners of my room, waiting. Maybe one day they'll come for me too. And when they do, I'll finally understand what it was all for. Ethan, final plea. If you're listening to this, don't look into the shadows. Don't follow the whispers, because once they see you, they never let go. If it were you, standing in that room, facing the shadows, what would you have done? Would you fight, run, or surrender? I need to know. Tell me. If you've ever felt the shadows closing in, share your story. Maybe together we can piece together what's really out there. Maybe we can fight back. If this story gripped you, if it left you with more questions than answers, hit subscribe and stay with us. Like this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. This isn't just a podcast. It's a search for the truth, and we need you in this fight.